In this video, I'll be showing how to make your own custom designed shirts by using household bleach to stain the artwork right into the fabric. By staining in several layers, the images can be given varying degrees of color to create designs as complex or as simple as you would like. To first demonstrate the most basic methods, I'll start with this simple image of a match. For this project, you'll need a roll of freezer paper, which has a thin plastic coating on one side. A large sheet is torn off, and the shiny, plastic-coated side is placed face down over top of the image we would like to copy. Using a dark-colored pen, the image is traced onto the freezer paper, following every line we would like to have in the final version. Images with hard lines and a lot of contrast between shapes will be the easiest to work with. If you'd like to freehand part of the design rather than tracing, that can work just as well. A sheet of cardboard is the next thing we'll need, along with a darkly colored cotton shirt. The cardboard goes inside to create a flat surface, and also to separate the two layers so the design doesn't bleed all the way through. Any wrinkles should be ironed out so our image will lay evenly on the fabric. The freezer paper is placed above, with the tracing centered wherever you'd like it to be on the finished shirt. Passing an iron over the paper on medium to high heat will cause the plastic coating on the opposite side to stick to the surface of the cotton. This will keep it from moving as I use a sharp blade to cut out the tracing, turning it into a stencil. If you're careful, it should be easy to cut the paper without cutting the shirt beneath. If I want to create a design with multiple shades of color, the areas I cut out during this first step will be the brightest sections of the image, and areas I'd like to keep darker, like the center of the flame, I'll leave covered for now. To be sure the paper is still well attached, I'll pass the iron over it again after I've cut out the design. It's time to put on some safety gear as we start working with bleach. You'll especially want to be wearing a mask for this, as bleach droplets in the air can very badly irritate your lungs if you're not careful. Some bleach is poured into a spray bottle and diluted by 50% with water. If we tried using pure bleach to stain our shirt, it can actually be strong enough to burn right through the fabric, but this diluted solution should work fine. Any exposed areas that remain past the edges of the stencil should be covered, because the spray bottle is now used to apply a light mist over the cutout image. Immediately, a paper towel is applied to soak up any excess bleach before it has a chance to bleed past the stencil lines or soak through the paper. The color will begin to change after just a few seconds, but it may take a minute or two to lighten completely. I can now add a second layer of more subtle color to the center of the flame, starting by removing that portion of the stencil. The iron is again passed over the surface to reseal the paper, and the heat will also cause the areas that have already been bleached to brighten further. Another light mist is applied and quickly dabbed away to give this freshly exposed area just a small amount of color. Once you're happy with the amount of brightness the design has reached, the reaction can be stopped by dunking the entire shirt in cold water. For simple designs like this, it's fine to leave the stencil attached until the bleach has been washed away, but if the paper is left on too long, it may become soggy and difficult to peel off in one piece. After drying, this shirt is finished. I think it's a pretty nice result, and it really didn't take very much work. I'll now demonstrate the process for creating a different sort of design. This one starts in the same way, by first ironing on a sheet of freezer paper with our desired image already sketched on the surface. For this design, I'd like this rocket's exhaust to be the brightest section, so it will be cut out first and receive two separate coatings of bleach for extra brightness, with the excess dabbed away in between. Ironing the surface again brightens the area further, and in this case, it will also help to dry any remaining moisture left on the paper, which will make the rest of the stencil easier to cut. Rather than removing the paper in the center of the space shuttle, I'd like to leave that area dark, and instead outline the shape by removing all the paper around it. To simulate stars in the sky, the spray bottle is adjusted from a fine mist to now spray larger drops, which will create the perfect effect. Removing the last of the paper reveals the final result. The designs that can be made with these methods can get pretty complex. Here I'm working on one with quite a lot of detail, the logo for another YouTube channel run by a friend of mine, Crazy Russian Hacker. This one is going to take 3 separate layers of bleach to have enough color variety between areas for every section to stand out. First the letters and central logo, since those should be brightest, then the border around the star, and the star's center will be the 3rd and final layer to be removed. If you haven't seen Crazy Russian Hacker's videos, you should take a look later on. He's compiled hundreds of great projects, all in one place. I'll put some links for you to check out in the video description below. I think this shirt turned out really nice. You can see I did rush when I cut out the stencil around the R, but otherwise, I'm very happy with this result for my first time trying such a complex image. If you tried this project, or any of my others, I'd really like to hear from you. Send me a picture or video of your results. Part of what helps me to keep making videos are my sponsors, and for this project, my sponsor is Harry's. Harry's is a company that manufactures top quality razors and shaving supplies and ships them right to you at very low cost. Well, I haven't been doing a whole lot of shaving myself these days. These razors do a great job on what little facial real estate I have left to offer. Their shaving gel smells really nice also. Check out harrys.com to see their options for shaving kits and great prices on replacement blades as well. If you liked this video, be sure to leave me a comment. Remember, I do read them all. Thanks for watching.